hello, good evening, and welcome back. It is time for some more Romance of the Blue Rose. Welcome to the drama and romantic fantasy that this wonderful group gets to expound upon each week. It is time for some more fun. Yes, you are definitely brooding, Simon. It's fine. It's what this game is about. I will do the full spiel afterwards, but let's go around. Everybody say hello, introduce yourselves, let everybody know who you might be playing tonight, so that they can figure out, things and how they go. So let's start with wait, hold on. People moved. Why did people move?
I didn't.
Ah, there we go. Haha, easy fix though. Hey. So let's start with to my left on the overlay. Hello, Pooja. How are you tonight? How are we feeling?
Hello. Hi everyone. I'm Pooja. I play Delmay Ferox, and both of our pronouns are she/her. And I'm feeling pretty good tonight. It's been a long week, and I'm ready to get some drama in, or in Delmay's case, inadvertently cause some drama, because that's what she's good at.
Inadvertently.
Well, inadvertent for her, advertent for me.
The great question of the point between the player and the character. But thank you, welcome. We're looking forward to it. Underneath Pooja, we have, hello Alyssa, how are you tonight? Are you ready for the fun times?
I'm so ready for the fun times, the good times, the drama times, all of the times. But hi, I'm Alyssa, or Xander Slambleton, playing Cecilia Vallet. Both of us use she/her pronouns, and I have a bit of the stuff those thing going on, so I'm apologizing now.
It's all good. It means we just bring back drama and tea, because there's always more tea in our lives to soothe away life.
It's just like an accidental, Pee Wee Herman thing, I guess, is what I'm scared of becoming.
Okay, well there's that. That's valid.
Mostly because we were talking about it in the green room beforehand.
Yes, we did. But next to Alyssa on the overlay is the individual who can definitely laugh like Pee Wee Herman. Hey, Trooper.
I have all the Pee Wee Herman quotes in my mind, and it has to do with the secret word and yelling real loud, many things, but I'm not going to talk about that. Instead, I'm going to say that I'm Trooper SJP. And hi, everybody. It is not my birthday in 4 hours, but two other people on this game, it is their birthday in 4 hours, not it. Just putting that out there, so you can guess later. I'm playing Russ, whose pronouns are he, him, and Russ is a red-shouldered Rhyhawk, which is a hawk, but a psychic hawk that is fully sentient and sapient, and, is like Major Dad, but in hawk form. So no cigars or anything like that, but just feathers. Yeah, and I'm looking forward today because I feel like nothing will go wrong. I'm just gonna do that. I pass it on.
Okay, well, to next up, as apparently someone who never did anything wrong or cause drama in her entire life in any TTRPG stream ever, to quote her, hey, Lindy.
Hi, that's me. That is a quote. Is it true? Is it a lie? I'm not telling. But it is a quote. So,
maybe it's Maybelline.
It could be Maybelline, Trooper. Glad you picked up the vibes I was throwing out. But yeah, I'm Lindy, and I'm very excited for today. And I will be playing Ritka Sokolov, who has been impersonating her twin sister Revka for the past 5 years. The truth is out. People have feelings about it. She has feelings about it. It's been a time. But she's just keeping on. So, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of individual whose characters might have feelings about the Revkalations that were dropped last week, hey Simon, how are you?
Hi, I am Simon at Wandering DM. I use he, him pronouns. And tonight I'm playing Vashard, who also uses he, him pronouns and whose entire life just got turned upside down. He's not well.
So he needs to go live with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that.
I was
That'll
literally about
probably-
to type into our chat, but did his life get turned upside down?
Upside down, yeah.
So glad we're all in this very specific pop culture referential phase for these intros today. It's just a good vibe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm well. Vashard is he's in his broody emo teen phase, despite being 27. So, we'll see what happens later.
Yes, we will. We will definitely see what happens after all of the drama, as all the drama unfolds. But first of all, I have a couple things to shout out. First, welcome everyone. Hey all, you know me. I'm at Dear Gentleman on Twitter, or Prax, your friendly neighborhood Prax, here to provide opportunities for my players to just kind of wander into the scope of my feels rifle and an appropriate double tap emotionally at certain points. Also, you will notice something directly below me on this overlay. This month for the channel, we are raising money. I am doing a fundraiser to support World Central Kitchen. If you don't know what that is, it is Chef Jose Andres' charity that goes into disaster areas and provides works with local restaurants and local restaurant owners to and locals individuals to provide meals and other forms of relief as necessary. You can actually find out a whole lot about them. They're a really great organization. They do a lot of on-the-ground work. Also, one of the other things that they started with COVID is, specifically in the United States, they have a system where the charity hires a restaurant, pays for everything as if it's basically full price. The restaurant then provides meals to those who are financially struggling in the local communities. This gives opportunities for the restaurants to stay open, to keep their staffs on pay, to do all of these things while also providing meals to those in need in our local communities. So we are doing a fundraiser for World Central Kitchen. You can follow along. There's a link in chat, and there's also a button underneath your Twitch. You'll also notice that the blessings of Felisar are back down to 0. Our wonderful players have 0 extra conviction points. Chat can help provide those by clicking the channel points button and donating, but there's a finite amount, and you know, sometimes these things happen, sometimes they don't. We'll see. But there's lots of drama to be had. Drama that we left off with. Last we left our fine fellows. They were proceeding away from Verdun into the woods further than the home of Manfrey. Away from the center of town. And this possible dark miasma of creepy magics. There was an experience with Delmay where she discovered someone's attempted to call, I guess psychically, a friend of her mother's by the name of Talia. The Revka revealed that she's not really Revka. Her name is Ritka. And she's concerned that these agents of the Knights of the Skull of Kern are here searching for her. And the possibility that this vampire that it might be here in Aldis might be Lady Talus, leader of the Knights of the Skull, and one of the 7 regents of Kern. But we also left off with Vishard having an experience of someone just basically downloading his entire brain. Everything he ever experienced. Knew, thought, felt.
All of my deepest, darkest desires.
Yeah. But you were leaving, and as you left, you felt this miasma of darkness kind of pulling back. You're coming away from it, and you're out of it away. And now you're pulled back. It's pulling even further if Russ is paying any attention. As you go, it seems to be keeping pace with your, but moving in an opposite direction. What would you like to do?
I'd just like to verify that crying is a free action.
Crying is always a free action.
Cool. I just want to make sure, not that Ritka's crying, but for, just in case, for later, reference. I'd just like to make sure.
Oh, I believe that certain people wanted to phone home.
Are you crying?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Delmay and I were going to call home.
Yes.
Are you crying in an open way, or are you hiding it?
Oh, she's not crying yet.
Oh, okay. So you're waiting for the.
I just wanted to make sure before I cried that it's a free action. I wasn't gonna waste my action doing it,
Clearly, crying is a major action. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, also, Kurnish don't cry, so it's fine. Yes.
So talking about your feelings could reduce some corruption.
We'll see what happens.
I think it depends on how intensely you plan on crying, right? Like, if it's just like a weep here or there, you're fine. If it's a full body cry, that's...
So I'm just looking at the book, and you can have more than one arcana up at one time. And so we are currently in the group party call, I believe, because we're checking out if we've got anything to do. I'm just going to note that I have Psychic Shield up as well, which also does not include fatigue. So I'm going to have both of those things up at the same time forever. Just noting it.
Here's the way that works. You can, but you can't initiate psychic contact with someone who already has their Psychic Shield up, which is your problem.
It says your shield doesn't block Arcana requiring psychic contact so long as the other adept remains in contact with you. If it's inside your shield, then you're good. So once they're in, you can put up your shield afterwards.
But my point is, to initiate
to start the connection, you have to bring the shield down.
Yep.
And then bring it back up.
Yep. And so we're all in, and so then I'm going to bring up my personal shield. Now that since we're already in the party call.
And can the rest of us do that too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I would definitely like to put my Psychic Shield up after we're all in the party line. For sure.
Oh, we've been in the party line. It's a good time.
So...
There's no fatigue roll, but there's a willpower psychic test, which I think just determines how strong it is. Because I don't see a target number. Because there's no target number, so I think it's just how strong
it's rolled again. You can bring it up. You don't have to worry about it. If somebody is attempting to attack you, then you roll against. But at the moment, it's not a problem.
I'm sorry. I know that everybody's laughing because of my current situation, but
it's not a funny situation. We can't help but laugh. No, if my cat tried to eat my cardboard stand-up Legolas, there'd be hurt.
He likes eating cardboard, and cardboard James Vanderbeek is apparently particularly tasty. I guess he is a snack.
Oh, Dawson. But
I don't have a cat, but if one of my nieflings tried to eat Legolas, that'd be fine.
I mean, I don't want to wait until she
9-year-old me
keeps
saved
trying
up a
to eat it.
year's worth of allowance to get that cardboard Legolas. Would not be fine.
That was my 16th birthday present for some friends.
Well, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over before we
Me
get
neither.
back to the drama.
Okay.
Just wait. One more thing. I just am seeing this because I just want to make us all concerned. Do you know what I mean? Like I just
Yes.
want to.
Yes, I know you'd like to make us
Okay.
as concerned as possible.
So
Go on.
I know that Prax know this. I just feel like we should know this in case we don't. An
Mhm.
attacker can choose to suffer a level of fatigue to automatically overcome your psychic shield.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah,
I
I just.
Fatigue really sucks, though, so
Fatigue is
We'll see
pretty bad.
what happens? Yeah.
So an enemy would have to be in pretty dire straits to want to do that to us, wouldn't
Or
they?
Or
know
a
they're pretty
stalker.
safe
Yep.
and be like, it's cool, I can get exhausted because I have
don't like
plenty of
that.
time.
Yeah, like that.
What if
for
you're
example.
stalking someone and you're like, I'll take fatigue?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got that too. I mean, it's just like a lot of reasons. why that
Hopefully
might
none of
happen.
us have stalkers.
Nope.
Lols.
May.
I don't. Ritka.
But we left off with all of you.
Yes.
One to get out of
discovering-
the miasma.
Well, you're out of the miasma.
Mm-hmm. That's when Vishard got
Yeah.
mind read, was outside of the miasma.
You're outside the miasma. You also have, you had decided that Delmay was going to try and call her mother to see, and Ritka possibly was going to try and call her dad psychically.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we don't have cell phones.
And you can lower it. Somebody could poke on your psychic shield. You could lower it, let them in, put it back up. Unless they're evil, in which case don't.
In which case, don't. No.
Who wants to go first?
You can
I
go
think-
first.
I
You
think
can call your-
simultaneously, I'll probably be calling in because I'm going to take a report. I will have Vishard give me the report he would like me to report in, and I will do that at the same simultaneous.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you originally said that you were going to basically like sit in on the call, and I was like,
No.
You're gonna call my mom with me? That's a little
No.
weird.
It's a little weird.
Well, it turns out your mom and I are best friends, so it's cool.
Are they though?
Are they?
So,
Yeah, I'm a friend of your mom. Get in the van. Like, it's bad. That was bad.
Here, have some candy. I'm a friend of your mom. Eat it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
so Delmay,
Yes.
let's start with you and your phone home.
Yep. Let me get my character. She popped out. All right. So what do I roll to phone home?
You roll psychic connection. It doesn't matter, theoretically, it doesn't matter distance.
It's familiarity.
Alright.
It's familiarity.
Seven.
How familiar are you
9.
with the person?
Psychic contact. Here we go. Did that push? It did not push.
Roll 20, be nice to my players tonight.
Roll 20 is. Let me try something else. Let me try to put anything random. Oh,
There we go.
arcane lore went.
Mm.
Psychic contact is not going. Let's see. How do we do this manually?
Well, it's 3d6 plus, hold on. For you, psychic contact.
I do have novice and psychic.
Yeah, psychic contact. It should be cast spell. Hold on a sec, let's see. There we go. It rolled
there
for
it
me.
worked.
Weird. Okay, well that works.
But I rolled a really bad roll, but 2, 4, 6. You needed a 9,
Oh.
but you can
Okay.
roll it again if you wish to.
Did you just click on the word psychic contact?
No. If you go in, what I did was if you go into your Arcana page,
Ah, okay.
and if you go down and it says cast spell, click the little dice next to it.
Okay. There you go. Much
There we
better.
are. There we go. Thanks all. We're still figuring things out. Okay. Within 15, 17. Yes, you can definitely contact your mother.
Okay.
You just need to say who it is, and yes.
Hi, Mama.
Delme, what's wrong?
I know I'm a little late in our monthly calls, but I had a quick question for you. Well, maybe not that quick. Do you know Atalia?
Atalia? Well, I knew Atalia.
What does new mean, Mom?
She died many years ago.
And I will... I have to say this out loud because I'm not in the group call. It's like, oh, interesting that Talia is dead.
Why are you asking? Are you all right?
I don't know. So you know how I was sent out here to learn things and gain experiences and become more worldly.
Yes, to broaden your horizons, of course. Necessary.
Yes. So apparently I have broadened my horizons to somehow being called by the dead. And that's really concerning.
Are you all right? Have you been... are there spirits of undead around you? What is going on?
I don't know. I'm fine. I'm with Vishard and Russ and my friend Revka and my mentor Cecilia. I'm not alone. We're fine. I'm safe. Of course, Whisper's here too. But yeah, I
think undead calling you is a little bit beyond being fine, darling.
I didn't ask for it, Mom. I'm trying to figure out why this dead lady is calling me and saying she's your friend and she's been... What did she say? Was she, like, trying to contact me for a while? And she's also hanging out with, like, Vishard's dead dad? I don't... This is weird.
Well, Talia has been dead for quite some time. I mean, she died 2 years before we moved into the city.
So she died while we were still in the Pavenweald?
Yes.
And she was there... Does she live in town with us?
Not in town per se, but outside. Definitely, and outside the village.
Okay.
She, hung out
she
with
weird?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, go ahead. She lived with who?
She didn't live with. She was a roamer. Traveled the roads. Visited most of the area of the Pavenweald, in and out. Very, very pleasant. I haven't thought of Talia in years. This is just But, no, she spent a lot of time on doing things. Why do you ask? Why is she contacting you?
I don't know. She said she heard me and wanted to check in. And it was interesting because she seems to know Russ. And obviously she seems to know Vishard and Bran. And did you ever know a man with the last name Chernov?
Yagomir.
Yeah, what do you...
The
what
spirit
do you know about
dancer,
Yagomir?
yes.
The spirit dancer. Did you meet him?
Well, yes, of course. He had a very nice place outside the village. He and his daughter. Yes.
Do you remember his daughter's name?
Oof, gosh, that was years ago. Started with an R.
Yeah.
She hadn't been home in a while. I'm in and out, doing things. I recall that she had, that there was this, Yagomir would talk about the fights that she would get in, get into.
Yagomir's daughter got into fights a lot. So, By the
No,
way,
no,
just
no,
as
no,
an
no.
assumption, I'm saying everything I say to my mom, I'm saying out loud. So y'all are definitely hearing one end of a call. Okay.
I feel
sorry.
like Cecilia's taking notes as we walk because this is important. So we can come back to it later.
Yeah.
Russ is also taking notes, but not with hands because no opposable thumbs, only claws.
Mom, are you taking your allergy
I'll
meds?
train you with a beak.
Of course I'm taking my meds. What are you...
Okay, good. Just checking.
It's that time of year. It doesn't
I
matter
know.
what happens. The trees are dropping things all over the place.
You're telling me I'm in trees.
I quite enjoyed moving out of the countryside.
Sorry, you were saying about Yagomir's daughter.
Yes, she got in. She enjoyed these, staged tournament bouts that they had all the time.
Oh, stage tournament bouts.
Yes.
That's cool. Sorry, I digress. The reason I asked about Yagomir is because Talia mentioned being at his place. You said that's right outside the village.
Well, a little ways, and not far.
Not far.
Do you remember the fairy lights, the house with the fairy lights? Out as you walked through the path, they lit all the little flowers, and every year they would come out. And
Yeah.
the little house in the in the middle of the lake. It's very
Fairy lights are one of my favorite parts. I miss them. Okay, and last you heard Yagomir, he was... I mean, this is a strange question to ask, but you know why I'm asking. Alive?
To my knowledge, yes. I hadn't heard anything else, but it's not like I keep track of everything that goes on.
I know, but like 2 of the 3 names I heard on that weird call from nowhere are dead people, so I have to ask.
This is true. This is true.
1 second, Mom. Let me see if there's any other questions.
You're putting me on psychic hold?
Yeah, well... I mean, do you want me to hang up and call back? This just seems faster. And out loud to her friends. Any other questions I'm forgetting for my mom? Oh, okay, going once, going twice. Oh, Russ, if you're saying something, you're muted. I think we're good for now, Mom. I'm as weirded out, perhaps more, because I thought she was just a lady hanging out with dead people, but now she's a dead lady hanging out with dead and maybe alive people.
Spirit, are you sure Russ is taking care of you?
Russ is doing Russ's job. I'm an adult. Russ doesn't need to take care of me.
Yes, you're entirely an adult.
Whisper's taking care of me. Russ, why does my mom think you have to take care of me?
Russ is in a psychic 3-way with the shard and the first envoy, and so cannot
I'm
speak
sorry, you're
out
in
loud.
what?
There's like a 3-way call, There's like a 3-way call.
I know, it's just the way you said it.
But I mean, you do a 3-way, right? Just all 3 people in a psychic call sharing brains.
Okay,
That's every 3-way I've ever been in, yeah.
Mama, did you hire Russ to, babysit me? Because we're gonna have to have a talk if that's the case.
No, I would never hire Russ to babysit you.
Makes it seem like you've hired somebody else. Okay. I'm an adult. I'm fine. I didn't actually get spaghetti through a window. It's fine. All right.
What
Bye,
does
Mama.
this
Love you.
spaghetti through a window?
She just hangs up. Yep. Sorry. You young daughter. You're welcome.
Yep.
Okay, so Russ and Rashard are in a psychic menage a trois.
That's a totally normal phrase. I mean, I think everybody says that when they talk about psychic contact, right?
Yeah. So I guess we'll
Yes, I do.
Certain circles.
we should wait for them to be done, and then we can talk about the conversation I just had with my mom.
Yes. Let them have their eyes wide shut, and then we'll return.
Yeah. I'll feed Whisper and give her some scritches while we wait.
But I think Ritka's has her phone call first.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that one go.
Okay, she was going to ask if did you still want me to? Okay, yes, I can tell by the look on your face. All right, I will attempt to do so.
Yes.
Also,
Have you ever
now
had a
you
hawk
know.
look at you like that?
Now
That
you know
haughty-
that he knows my mom.
What is your mother's name?
What is my mother's name? I don't have my notes with me here today.
What is her
Elonia.
last name?
Elonia.
Elonia, yes.
I'm writing that down so I do not forget. All right. I will attempt to call. Is there anything specifically you wanted me to ask him? If he knows Talia, or
Talia, if he's been spirit dancing with Talia and Bran.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
And why Talia might be reaching out to your friends.
All right. I will see what I can do. It has been a very long time since I have spoken with him, so it might not get through. I am not terribly familiar with him at present. All right. She will attempt psychic contact.
Could you please roll me psychic contact?
I will. I did not roll great.
No. Maleshka? Is that you? Retka.
Yes, this is
Why
this is
are you-
Ritka.
Why are you not at home? Where are you? You've been missing for 5 years. Where are you?
Wrong dad.
Oopsie.
Are you all right?
I am fine. I am all right. I'm well. And she's not having her half of the conversation out loud. That is not what's happening. But she looks very intense, like she's thinking real hard. I have missed you. How are you?
I am better now that I know that you are alive. You're alive, right? And not unalive?
Do unalive people make psychic calls?
Have you met Lady Talus?
Oh, okay, that's a valid point. That is a valid point. I am alive. Does everyone think I am dead?
There was a major question. There was a town that is no longer a town that you were supposed to be at. Your Werven is dead. Your teammate is dead. Their Werven is dead. Everyone else in town is dead.
Yes, that was a time. I met my sister.
Revka?
Yes.
How is she?
Well, she was okay, and then she was getting tortured, and then I'm pretty sure she died. And I've been in all this for a little while.
Okay. When are you coming home?
I do not know. Does Lady Talus know what happened at the incident?
I have not conversed with her particularly.
I didn't know if she paid a visit or any one of the Knights of the Skull.
Well, that is... She did not.
Oh, I see.
I did have a very interesting conversation with young Dmitry Surkov.
Dmitry, I see. How long ago was that?
6 weeks. He wanted to talk to me about some things. He was concerned about you. Fedor had been concerned, which we are all very concerned that you did not come home.
I was going through some things. I was not expecting to run into my sister that I hadn't seen in 200 years.
I can understand how that might be disconcerting and upsetting.
Do you still stay in contact with Dad?
There's just a long, quiet pause.
Yeah.
Of no answer. Why do you ask, Ritka?
Well, I think Fedor and Dimitri and possibly Lady Talus are here in all this, and I am fairly certain that there is something very suspicious happening with him.
There's just that feeling you have when you know that the person on the other end of the line is like sucking on lemons and not saying anything.
Yep. Just, I have a dead sister. I didn't want I didn't want a... Still family. I was concerned. I was going to attempt to call and check in, but, I guess I thought of you instead.
I am glad that you called, Malishka. I'm glad to know that you are alive and safe.
I am sorry I did not call sooner.
I have not spoken to your father in a number of decades.
All right.
He felt it was better.
Do you think he would hate it if I checked in to make sure he wasn't being attacked by, Lady Talus? Or undead? Hordes of undead?
I'm pretty sure if you are there to protect him from undead, it wouldn't really matter. But aside from that, I'm sure he would love to hear from you.
I haven't talked to him.
Know that your parent. All we want is for you to be happy, Ritka, and alive, and not dead.
I'm very much alive and not dead. It's been interesting in all this. Things are very different here. Learned a lot, and
all I can tell you is good luck.
Thank you. I will call again. I will call more often.
I would like that.
All right. Thank you. I should probably try to make contact with Jaromir now.
Got it. Tell Jaromir.
It's not for you.
Tell Jaromir. Never mind. It's not important. Stay safe, Ritka.
Thanks, Dad. I love you.
Love you too, darling.
And then hangs up and tries to redial real quick. Just like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, that's the wrong phone number. So she's gonna try that psychic contact again. Thinking of my other dad, as she's making this roll.
17 is a lot better than a 12.
It is.
Particularly.
One's on speed dial. She accidentally held one button for too long. It's the thing.
It's that point.
There was dad and then dad 2, and then it's just hit the wrong button.
You can make contact. You feel that you've made contact with something, but there's no answer. There's like no verbal response.
Hello, this is your other daughter, Ritka. Just trying to see if you are alive. I am concerned.
There's still no verbal response, although you know it's like one of those the phone picked up, but nobody's
Uh-huh.
talking.
There are some Knights of the Skull and all this, and so I was concerned about you. And maybe Lady Talos. I know it's been a very long time since we've spoken, but I did run into Revka a few years ago, and just figured I would check in, cause one of my friends says she got a call from a woman named Talia, Elonia's daughter. Says she got a message from a lady named Talia, who's supposed to be dead, about hanging out with other dead people, and that death was just a state of existence. And she said she was hanging out with you, and I got concerned because dead people should not be calling my friends.
I am familiar with Talia.
Is she dead and hanging out with you?
Spirits frequently visit.
Do they?
Unlike you.
I was in Karn for a very long time, and did not think. I didn't know if Dad had stayed in contact with you, and I did not want to call in case you hated me.
I do not hate you.
Well, you took Revka and not me, so I did not know.
That was your father's choice.
Well,
We both. I wanted all of us to leave.
Well, I left 5 years ago, and I'm in all this.
And yet you do not call until now.
I was very sick for a little while. But are you alright? Should we be concerned about Talia making collect calls to my friend?
I do not know what you should be concerned about, Ritka.
That's fair. There's not a vampire with you or anything, is there?
I have not seen a vampire.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm kind of with the Sovereign's Finest right now.
Really? The Knight of the
Yes.
Skull has changed her cloak.
Yes. Yes, I have not been a Knight of the Skull for 5 years. It's very different in here in Aldis than in Karn. I could see why you wanted to leave.
If you know Elonia's daughter,
I do. She is a friend of mine.
then you will know where to find me. I look forward to your visit, Ritka. And he just kind of hangs up at that.
She just lets out a breath she didn't realize she was holding that whole time. And it's like, asks to be let back into the psychic particle. I made contact.
I cannot let you in because I'm currently working as an operator on a different psychic call.
I'll I'll let Ritka into a psychic call with me.
Oh, thank you, Cecilia.
And Delme?
And Delme.
I was like, what am I doing? Just chewing leaves?
No, I'm not gonna leave you out.
No, look,
Okay,
we
good.
we can all have our own 3 ways.
Yeah, it's totally fine. We can have two
Okay,
three
fine.
ways.
We'll
Which
have
is
We
like-
can we can have as many 3 ways as we want. No one
Yeah.
can stop us.
Mostly, Delme needs to be in a 3-way because she refuses to have her brain open. Natalia.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll just hang out here and not talk to anybody. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll start the psychic party line with Delme and Ritka, which I assume I need to roll to start the psychic party line.
For more than one, yes.
Okay.
I can
And that's
roll if
like
you'd like,
count.
but
No. I gotta
It's
find it.
uh,
I have so
Since you're-
many spells. I have to find the right spell.
It would be an 8 since you're all in line of sight, but there's an extra person. So it'd be an 8.
Why
It's
is
like a
it
base of
not-
7 plus 1 for every extra person, modified by familiarity.
Alright,
Can
let
you
me-
can
let
you
me-
start a psychic contact with someone, then leave and keep the contact open, like the call open for 2 other people?
Okay, there we
I
go.
can't imagine so.
No, not necessarily.
yeah, you could. We're
Okay, I'll
we're in a
need
psychic
to
3-way
do
now.
something after our reporting.
Okay, I made it. It just took.
10,
It's just
12.
It's just,
yeah, it just didn't roll
yeah.
right. So
It's
12,
just doing
yes.
that thing again.
It's just doing that
Yep.
thing again. So 12, yes, you definitely make it. It's a you now have the party line between you have the Team Chaos party line and Team Responsible party line.
I don't know
Oh,
which team I am a part of. If I'm
Chaos.
Oh yeah, welcome to the chaos.
honest. Which is ironic because this is probably the most like upstanding, orderly character I've ever played in my life.
Hey,
Who just
so-
dabbles in sorcery? It's okay.
It's
I mean,
not a
half of
dabbling,
Team
it is a-
Chaos has dabbled in sorcery. It's fine. Anyways, I made contact. So just between the 2 of us, I may have accidentally called my Kernish dad first, because the familiarity thing. But then I called Aldous dad, Yaromir, rather than. I guess it would be weird to just call them dad. I should give them their names. I called Casimir, my Kernish father. And we talked. He was glad I was not dead. It was good. I missed him. And then I called Yaromir. He was very, very brief. He did not sound thrilled to hear from me, but he said he looked forward to my visit. That yes, he heard the spirits talk. He's chatted with Talia. But he did not know if it was something we should be concerned about. So I guess he wants us to come visit and talk about it there.
And are you comfortable with such a?
Well, I don't think he hates me. I think he's just upset that I haven't contacted him since he left.
How long ago was that?
200 years. I was very small. I was.
A wee one.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was 2.
Yes.
I don't remember much. I just remember being very upset. And so I just didn't call. Because I thought he didn't like me. Because he took my other sister. Anyways, it's a thing. It's fine.
Is it
But-
fine?
It will be fine. I did not tell him that that Revka's dead. I didn't want to really break. I said we had met briefly, but I didn't say that. I felt like that shouldn't be broken over psychic contact. You know, I felt like I should say that.
Yeah.
And
Yes, that seems like a conversation to be had in person. Yes, I would agree.
Especially if we are going there in person.
yes,
Oh, we seem
he
to
says
be
you would
heading
know
that
where it
direction.
is, Delme.
Yeah, my mom said.
And he says there hasn't been
uh,
any vampires at his house.
Oh, that's good.
yes.
My mom did say that your other dad, well, Yadomita lives right outside the village where Vashard and I grew up, which
Oh.
is strange and very small world of it.
It is a small world, smaller than you might think it sometimes.
Yes. Indeed, small world. Well, I believe we are waiting for whatever Russ
Mhm.
and Vashard decide officially. We still
What-
have 2 patients with us.
Oh, yes. While we're waiting on Russ and Vashard, a quick question. Both Talia and my mom mentioned something about Russ and looking out for me. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
About Russ looking out for you? Russ looks out for everyone. He is very, very protective of people.
No, but this was more of a I did something stupid, but instead of chastising me, it was Russ's fault kind of a thing. Like, almost as though it was his responsibility to babysit me.
Oof.
That's...
And I'm looking very closely at Cecilia.
The thing is, I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say, and it's not that I'm sure Russ told me that he has sort of a babysitting mission, because we are very close. But I don't think I want to tell her that. I think I want to strategically sidestep this. Just be like,
He's
Russ,
watching. You try.
Russ is a very paternalistic hawk. And I think that comes with someone in his position who has been doing his job for as long as he has.
I suppose paternalistic might mean something completely different here in all this. I don't know. My dad was very different. Casimir, he was supportive, but not... maybe it's just Russ's demeanor.
Yes. Russ gives that sort of protective approach.
Strict.
Well, again, that's some of the measure of being in the finest, I'm sure. Things to uphold as such.
I'm not buying this. Am I buying this?
Do I need to roll something to like?
I was like,
give
am I
the
buying
vibe?
this? It's weird. Two people mention Russ specifically being responsible for Delme doing things like, one being near a portal.
I do not babysit you, Delme.
Delme.
Yeah, no, you get drunk with me. You're fine.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I technically have considered your superior, although that would be invoking things that I don't think are worth invoking. I guess something that has been on my mind for a while. Why did you leave court? For this, did you want to leave, Delme?
Not particularly, because I liked my life there, but in order to be who I need to be, I needed to gain experience, which would not just come find me in court. So here I am. But I don't understand how I'm supposed to go out and find experience with a babysitter watching my every move. Although Russ wasn't here for a long time, so...
Yes, he's
I don't
not
know.
really... You can't really call him a babysitter if he wasn't here the whole time.
And if you are not a baby.
You are also
That's
not
what
a
I
baby.
told my mom.
You are...
I told my mom I am a grown adult.
You are.
You are of age,
I can make my
yes.
own bad decisions. And
You are.
Yes, you can
Definitely
make your
of
own
age to
bad
make
decisions.
your own bad decisions.
Yes, you are definitely
I support
definitely
you.
more than capable of making
Thank
your own bad decisions, Delme. I would agree.
Thank you. And I will. It just
Can
feels
I-
weird.
Can I ask everyone to please make me a willpower self-discipline test?
I was wondering why
Oh,
you were
no.
rolling in the background.
I know.
Do we need to make our psychic shields first?
This is different.
Everyone gets a +1 to that roll, by the way.
Okay,
From me.
so
Oh, I was so close.
I don't think it added the self-discipline bit, so I think I actually get 16. I don't think it added the +2 for the
No, it
focus.
didn't.
It didn't add for the focus.
But I got 3 stunt points, so now I gotta go find some stunts.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6, if it worked.
Yeah, I have 14.
17.
I got a 20. I talked to my dads, I feel better. Found out my pet's dead, which, poor Carnage, but, it's fine. It's been a
Ooh,
while.
thank you for the blessing. And everybody gets a +1 from me because I am inspiring in my weird
yeah.
hawkishness.
21.
I have a 15.
I have a 16.
I
Well,
think 16.
the number to beat was 24.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I got
Ow!
close.
Well,
but
let
not
me
close
check the
enough.
stunts, because I need to be ready.
You are walking. You haven't stopped. You're following along, moving through, and Ritka, you notice first
Oh, okay. What do I notice first?
that the scenery around you changes. The air is colder. There's this moment of deja vu, but also slight disorientation between one step and the next.
So I feel like that wild magic one step in the next bit that we had happen in town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Great.
And
Cool. Fantastic.
you look, and there are mountains.
Oh no.
There are deep woods, deep, dark trees, healthy green. Delme, Vishard, the puppers are with you, I'm just assuming at this point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
And our two unconscious people.
Your
Yes.
two unconscious
They are
people.
on the puppers.
They are riding the dogs. The giant wolfies. There's this feeling of recognition. You know where you are. Both Asen and Whisper are excited. It's home. But there's this low-lying mist on the ground. That kind of early morning chill, which is odd because last you knew it was late afternoon. There's a scent of falling trees and leaf rot, the woods and the sounds. And you step into this new location. There's a trail in front of you. It's like a game trail, if that.
Is Vishard still in his psychic call?
No, actually the psychic call fails on both of these afterwards, as the minute you step through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were in a psychic call having a conversation, and then it drops.
Yeah, and then the cell tower, you lose the cell tower, you lose connection.
Damn you, Verizon. Anyway.
So Delme will turn immediately, and I guess my assumption is she was probably with the girls, and so she's gonna move up to where Vishard is. I assume Whisper is running around in joyous circles.
Mm-hmm.
How are we here? Do you know when this is?
I don't.
Well, when we teleported before, we went back in time, right? And then we walked out of it.
Are there any recognizable landmarks around us?
Roll me, what is it? It's natural lore?
Oh, yeah, natural lore, something I don't have. So that would be intelligence. I have cultural lore. Would that count?
I have cultural lore also.
Cultural lore can work.
Alright, I will also do this.
Then I will roll an 11.
Oh, it didn't add my focus, so 13 for me.
13 and 11. It didn't roll. You both rolled 13s because it didn't add the focus for either one of you.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. Cool,
Facts.
cool, cool.
So you both get the focus benefit. It's a 13. You recognize a little of this place. you know that this path leads into the wood. It's perhaps there might be something there. You aren't 100% sure if it, you recognize the path as being kind of near where you were. You've been here before, but you don't remember. You don't remember all the details, right? It's not scary. It's close to home, but you're not 100% sure you recall where you were, how you got here,
Mm-hmm. Do we know how far we are from town? From the village, I mean?
You would probably be able to guess, maybe a couple hours.
Okay.
Perhaps a little bit longer. Further into the woods.
Couple hours if we were still where we're supposed to be.
No, are you asking do you know where you would have been if you...
I'm saying if this teleportation, like how far out of town are we teleported to?
Out of the town we were just in.
Oh,
I was asking out of the village.
Of where, like, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, the village you grew up in. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's two towns, so we
yeah. Like the Pavan Wheel village.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on. If you think about it, you are like a half day outside of town.
Okay.
To the northeast, deeper into the woods, closer to the mountains. You know that this path is here. It is your choice what you do next.
Can we know how that conversation with the first envoy went before it got cut off?
The first, you reported, did you change anything from your report last week?
No. All the time when they were having their fun conversations, Bashard and I and the first envoy were having a three-way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and your conversation was going well, and did you change any of the information you shared?
It was a three-way so that Bashard could report in. Yeah.
Okay, so what
and
were
like
you...
and report on like the new information of like the whatever it was his ability to report in.
Yeah.
My report would mirror that of Russ. Except for the fact that I will add that I am personally keeping an eye on the Skull Knight that we have with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that once we've, once we've reached all this, I will bring her to the first envoy.
Mm-hmm.
Brain, the knock on the...
The knock on the what?
You're gonna mention the,
Oh, yes. My bad. I forgot that I had prepared my entire report before this happened. Someone or something just invaded my mind a mere few moments ago.
That is upsetting.
And took everything I knew. I've been read.
We will be concerned about that. Are you well? Are you safe? Operational
Right
security
now-
is secondary, but at the moment, are you functional?
I am functional. I have all of my wits and all of my control over my body. I do not feel any presence inside of me. I have Rust by my side and the rest of the finest with me. And just to be on the safe side, the ex-Knight of the Skull that we have with us has never shown any capacity of being able to forcefully enter someone's mind. I doubt in this very moment that this is her doing.
Then we shall assume that it is an outside player and we have more concerns.
Richard said it was a woman.
Yes. A woman by the name of Talia, I believe.
She didn't give her name to you.
To me? No? Okay. Sorry. I thought she did.
And she sounded different than Talia did from what
Than
you talked
Talia.
to Thelma about.
That's true. Yeah.
But that could be a lie.
It's a, yeah, it was
She-
a woman's voice.
She never told you her name.
No, it was a woman's voice. One that I've never heard before.
Well,
Given our theory that the village might be under the, or housing the presence of a vampire, I wouldn't be surprised if said vampire was the root cause of the psychic
be safe and
assaults.
remain vigilant. We shall attempt to ensure that someone is near to you in a very brief, and that's when it cuts out.
I will pull up a party line with everyone because we are in a new location. Something weird happened.
Yep.
Do not like. Do not like.
I will, once this happens, and after Vishard asks, you know, the question to Delmay, like, what's going on?
Nope, gotta go again.
Yeah, it doesn't pop up immediately.
I need 10 minutes. Can you give me 10 minutes?
Are you asking everybody?
I'm asking everyone. I say, like, with confidence, Vishard says, I need 10 minutes. Can you give me 10 minutes?
Of course.
Of course.
All right. I will kneel down to the ground and, like, remove the glove from my right hand and put it down on the grass. And I will begin to meditate for 10 minutes and use my nature reading arcana.
Ooh, very nice.
So I am using nature knowledge.
Wild magic.
So with a successful arcane test, I can learn any 3 facts about the following in a 1 mile radius. So I choose between the type of ground or terrain, the plants, mineral, bodies of water, people, general animal population, presence of animal, presence of powerful unnatural creature, or the general state of the natural setting. This extends for an additional mile in radius for every 2 points of outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we said that we were about a half hour away from the village.
No, the village that you grew up on.
Half day.
Yeah.
Half day.
Oh, half a day. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
So, still, I'm hoping to roll high enough to get... Because it's a TN1, so basically for every 2 points above that, I extend. And I'll let you know that he is looking for the presence of powerful unnatural creatures.
Mm-hmm.
The presence of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the general state of the natural setting. In the sense of, is this... You know,
Where are we? What's going on? Is this
where
a
are
real
we?
place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are we really in this place? Like, if I get a feeling that, okay, this is not natural. Oh, I want to know. And are there anyone around? Are there any unnatural creatures around? So I need to cast a animism or natural lore test. It's based on my perception. So I'm just going to go here. Perception. Please don't fail me.
6.
Well, that's an 8.
8. So it's 5.
And the TN
3,
is 1, so it's a 3, 5, 7. So it would be 4 miles around.
4 miles out. You can go 4 miles out and you feel like, first of all, you're not, by going 4 miles, the distance that you spread out, you aren't going to get close enough to the village, right? Just pure.
No, I'm mostly going like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's exactly. So you're not, that's what I'm trying to say, is like, based on your own limitations that you aren't going to get as far psychically as you would to your village at home.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that this feels like the Pavin Wheel. It feels natural. It feels real somehow. The natural world is strong. There's a wildness in that you haven't felt in a while. A wildness you haven't felt in years almost. A sort of, perhaps the better term would be, not violence, but hunger. A seeking. Like a large predator just waiting in anticipation for something. You feel about 2 miles to your northeast a bastion of calm in a otherwise oppressively anticipated world. It's quiet.
There seems to be a sanctuary 2 miles northeast. Any people within, aside from the group, within 4 miles?
You feel a couple towards that sanctuary, but you can't pinpoint how many are there.
But there are people.
But there are people. But it's almost like this bastion of calm, this sanctuary within this otherwise heaviness, it seems to be hiding from you information. You do feel a large predator of some sort. You feel also like the natural animals that should be here are there, but they have this hunger, this desire to, it's almost like what you feel with large prey animals, or not large prey animals, large predator animals, when they know it's been a long winter and there might be prey in the nearness. And they might be drifting into, approaching human settlement because there's just nothing else for them to eat.
The animals are aggressive, hungry. There are people near the sanctuary, but we'd best be on our guard on the way there.
Wait, do we think this isn't going to end as we keep moving forward like it did the first time?
It might, but I would suggest we go northeast.
For the record, it took Russ 3 times to initiate a complete the party line. Russ was having a really hard time getting everybody together, and that Russ does not look happy about that. Like, what is it? Shields back up. Once we're all in, shields up. But it took quite some time before Russ could actually pull everyone together.
So
Rust circles.
last time this happened to us, we just kept moving straight. And we're taken back to where we were.
Has this happened before? What is this? You seem to have been teleported. What's going on?
Kind of wild magic is what happened before, and we were taken to Carnish battlefields like years before.
But it was short-lived.
Yes, we kept walking through and we were able to get out of it. But we were closer to the miasma then. This is quite different.
Does the smell of wild magic permeate like it did last time?
Go ahead and roll me that perception. Smelling, if you has it. Or, you know...
Perception knows.
I will also ask Whisper to take a sniffy sniff, because she better at that.
Mm-hmm.
Make roll smelling for Whisper.
I'm just going to roll the perception too, for
16 for Whisper.
Yeah.
So, Delme and Cecilia, you both feel magics in the air, but it's different almost, and you can't figure out why. When you ask Whisper to start smelling, she would tell you that she smells magic, but she also smells the thing that made her sneeze.
Oh. And just so I remember, she sneezed at the
Stag.
drained stag. Okay. So it smells like magic, but also whatever it was that drained that stag I found. So vampires?
Yes.
I hate this.
Yes. I would say that is a very fair assessment of this situation.
Yeah, okay. Just thought I'd make that clear.
Of course.
So I think we may not be able to walk out of this one because it's different.
Then do we head to that sanctuary?
Going to take my action to move in the fly high zone. So, because I cannot, so I'm holding the line, which is concentrating on the Arcana, which is a minor, and then I'm going to move to fly high. So I've gone from flying to circle to fly, so I'm like super up there to see how much I can see.
Are you breaking the tree line?
Yeah.
Okay. You've been to the Pavin Weald before. You know that this is a dense, old world forest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you.
Do I see anything weird when I'm up in the fly high zone?
You see a bunch of trees. And it's darker. But that's almost like the time of day is different. The sun's position is different.
From where I'm at, would I be able to see the village from here?
No.
From a bird's eye view?
No. You can't even see them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I know that they're inside the forest. Is the village that they're from within the forest itself, so it is not visible from above?
Yes,
Or
it's in with it. It's their forest folk within the Pavin Weald. Yep.
Is there any agricultural spaces in this area or no?
Nope. The Pavin Weald, the villages in the Pavin Weald are non-agricultural. They're hunter-gatherer, subsistence farming, if that.
Well, I'm just give it a good peek, see if I'm seeing indications of smoke or anything that would be kind of,
Roll me perception seeing.
I'll have to drop the psychic contact to do that because I can only do two things and I'm currently flying.
Crest breaks the tree line. The party line dies.
Shields right up as soon as the party.
Yeah,
ends.
You can have shields up while you're in a call.
Okay, so shields continue to stay up.
Yeah, we're just not taking them off even extra now.
Yeah, I get an 11.
You don't see anything that doesn't look like it belongs from an overhead view of the Pavin Weald as you've seen it. But it's strange. It's not the Pavin Weald as you know it. It's almost older. Or previous? You're not 100% sure, but there's something about it.
Like the height of the trees, or the something about the sort of configuration of it.
Yeah. Like the density is even higher, and you're like, there's even less visibility than you're used to, but it's still the Pavin Weald. You still see the mountains in the distance.
I am going to do a psychic perception. I've got a 1 stunt point, which I don't know if that's going to help me at all. Advantage positioning.
I mean, you can do the reroll.
For a stunt point?
For the psychic one? The perception one?
That costs 2. I only have 1. So I will do a psychic perception. And just to see, because I don't know, that's weird. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't know about that. That seems strange. Oh. 18 with 5 stunt points.
Hey, Trooper?
Yeah.
Can you roll me a willpower courage test, please?
If you want me to.
Yes, please.
All right, then I will. Okay. And that's a 17. And I've got I've got rando stunt points. I think I'll probably take advantageous positioning.
Russ, what would you like to do as you begin to fall from the air?
Well,
You just suddenly forgot how to fly. You know, like you're it's that really bad vertigo where you're walking and you just can't figure out how to do that anymore. Picture that as a bird flying in the air.
Okay. Well, that's not great. I am going to, for my exploration stunt, I'll just spend 4 of them to get the upper hand in case I run into combat right about now. I am going to, let's see, I've got about 3 turns before I hit the ground because I'm way up there. It's not great. I will try to contact the shard. No, Cecilia.
You can contact either one, but your TN is going to be higher.
Yeah.
Because of your disorientation.
Yeah. Because if I can't fly and I'm falling, I've got 3 turns, and I just need to let him know that I'm coming down. That's what I'm gonna have to do. All right. Okay.
But Sugar, are you coming down swinging?
I think I'm coming down, not in a good way, like in a.
Down, and not on a merry-go-round? Okay, cool. Just
I think
clarifying.
he's coming down flailing.
Yes.
Coming down flailing.
That's an 8, which is not enough.
No,
not
it's
enough.
not. You needed an 11.
You want to use a point of conviction? Because this seems
A
important.
reroll?
I've got 3 turns before I hit the ground.
You also have 3 conviction points that your chat very kindly donated for you.
I've got
Wait,
another.
does that go for all of us?
Yes,
It
that's
does
a
go for
group
all
that-
of us.
That's the party group.
Group
You may not
party.
use those to against corruption, but the blessings of Felisar are conviction
It's a
points
pool, okay.
as a pool that you may all draw from.
Do it.
Well,
This
hold
seems
on.
like a good time to do it.
Hold on. Powerful channeling says I can increase the outcome of my arcane by 1 per point spent, and I've got 4, which is the max. So I'm going to go from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 12.
You can make contact with Cecilia.
Which is good.
That's what those stop points are for. I'm going to sort of like, Celia, I'm falling. Can't fly. Something's wrong.
I mean, I can try to catch you. I guess I don't. What? Why? What is happening?
I don't know. Something. Can't. I don't. No.
Okay. Okay. All right. We will.
Trees fast. It's coming real fast.
Out loud, I will say something's happened to Russ. He's falling. We need to be ready to catch him. And I'm going to scan my arcana to see if there's anything I can do.
He's above the trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's falling a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I will rush to the nearest tree that is under Russ and cast plant growth on it so that the tree grows to catch him harmlessly. Technically, it's going to entangle him, but
But at least we can pull him down that way. It's good to
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to catch him.
I did tell you to do that, yes. So that is.
Because I have body control, but only.
Ritzka, what are you doing?
I can't do anything to stop somebody from falling, so she's looking around with her eyeballs just to keep me on watch because she can't do anything about the falling situation.
You
So
can try to
she
catch him
is-
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna just guess that the whole 6 feet of reach, so maybe 6.5, 7 feet of reach she has from the ground. I don't think that 6.5, 7 feet at his velocity is gonna do him any good. So, yeah, it'd be. Oh, I hit the ground, but 6 feet higher.
More
It's not like it's a second story roof where 6 feet makes a huge difference. It's he's way the fuck up.
I think you just have to bend. You have to bend your knees when you catch. I think that's just.
DM, I have a question.
Yeah.
I
So
will roll an
when
eyeballs check.
Arcana has multiple talents that you can use for it, do you have to learn it with each separate talent?
You use the one you would use, I think, right? Like
you
with
could
psychic
choose
context.
you could choose one that's an appropriate one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like-
if there's 2 listed,
If
you
there's
can
2
pick.
listed, you could use that. You can use that Arcana with the skill that you have.
Okay. All right. I was just curious because like body control, there's
There's a lot in
animism,
it.
healing, and meditative. I don't have healing magic, but I do have animism and
then
meditation.
it would work because you have one of the.
But it would
Yeah,
depend on
okay.
what you're doing. Like with psychic contact, if you have animism, you cannot contact non-animals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can only
that's-
contact.
I have
so
both.
exactly.
Okay. I was just
Uh,
curious how that works.
So with an 11, you're
He keeps glancing up towards the sky like, ugh.
you're paying attention. You're watching things. Hey, Vishard, go ahead and roll that.
yes, it
Ooh,
is a
good.
TN
Whisper.
Good popper.
7 animism.
TN7 animism. Go ahead and roll it.
Because the tree canopy catches him. That's a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
That's a 12. Does that mean I also have to roll for fatigue after that, right?
You do have to roll for fatigue
Yeah.
after that. And it
I failed.
It didn't give you your ability focus.
I don't have any ability focus in plant shaping,
Mm.
so that's normal.
You
Oh.
don't need to focus, you just need the school.
You just need the school, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
yeah, so you
I
take
get
1
a
point
level of.
You get 1 point of fatigue.
Would you allow me to use conviction to not be fatigued?
Oh, there's a fatigue thing, isn't there, with conviction?
Like the
I'm pretty,
reroll?
I'm pretty sure I can heal your fatigue, though. I think.
Okay.
One of these, I'm pretty sure will do it. I
Then
just don't remember.
I'm
which
gonna take
spell.
I'm gonna take the winded and winded.
Yeah, you're 1 point of you're 1 point of fatigue.
I am winded, but the tree. So what it does is
Describe
It is-
what this looks like.
yeah, I can focus the Arcanum on a specific area within a 40-foot radius. Plants become so overgrown that they entangle anyone in the area. So my thing is to make the canopy so overgrown that it creates like a mattress, like a
Like one of
net
those safety nets.
to catch. And of course, because it's a, technically it would entangle, so it's gonna wrap around Russ without hurting him. But what I wanted to do is once it catches him, to like lower him down 40 feet, which I don't know how tall the trees are.
A couple
And
hundred.
then
Yeah, it's fine. No,
lower him
well,
down and then release him because I'll
Yeah.
let the spell go and then we can catch him.
Yeah, you're,
It's a lot shorter fall.
It's a lot shorter fall. Russ, roll me a d6.
Okay. I say yes, D6. Go. A 6.
You take 6 points of damage as you impact into this net. Because you are moving at terminal velocity, but now you are stopped and in this
And you're not a
net-
squirrel.
And you're not a squirrel. You are instead a hawk with vertigo issues. You have fallen into this net and you're being lowered safely to the trees. Delme, Whisper is on guard, but seems to be moving around in a way that's very odd. It's strange. She keeps moving up the trail and then back to you and then up the trail and like around. She's blinking a few times.
All right, I will talk to her. What's wrong, girl? Just ask her, since I can do that.
The trail keeps going in and out. And it's there, but it's not there, and then it should be there, but it's not there. Why do you move trails, Delme?
I didn't do that. We were brought here. Where does it go out?
Up here, and she'll lead you further along, and the trail is there, and you see it. But when she kind of points to the edges, you see how it glistens, and you see like these small blue flowers around the outside that kind of point that the trail is not where it's supposed to be. It's almost like an illusion that you can see through.
Friends?
Yeah, I would have liked to follow Delme because she got spaghettied into a window.
She didn't. She
Almost got
did.
spaghettied into a window. So
Yeah.
she's just
Um,
want to make sure she doesn't get spaghettied into a tree or something. What are we gonna do about
Thank
that?
well, so if Ritka walks up to Delme, Delme will point out what Whisper is showing her. Do you see those blue flowers? The trails.
Blue flowers. And then I look.
And we'll find out more about those flowers when we come back, because I think that's where we're going to take the break for the evening. See you in a few, all. Get up, get refreshed, get some water, get some more tea. I feel like there's more drama to be had. See you in a few, everyone. welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, recovered, ready to dive further into, well, recovering along this path. So you have caught your dear friend, and you were looking at some flowers on the ground.
When I get caught, I'm like, because I'm still in contact with Cecilia. I think it was somebody check me for see if there's residual energy, arcane something. It's not.
Whoa.
Doesn't feel right.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Russ, it's okay. I will. I would like to examine our friend, the hawk.
You can examine your friend the hawk, and Ritka, could you please roll me either...
Could you?
Ooh, I need to check something on your sheet. Hold on.
Eyeballs? Perception eyeballs? Is that what you want me to roll? Historical lore? Writing? Intimidation?
No. This is
Stamina?
intelligence, and if you had cultural lore, you could have used that, but...
Only historical lore.
I do.
Yeah, but this is something for Ritka in particular.
Ah, not my
Okay,
culture.
so just
Gotcha.
a base
Fair.
intelligence check is what you would like. All right. Can I use a point from one of our conviction pool to re-roll
Yes.
that critical? Yeah.
Wow.
Ritka had the dumb.
Or maybe she was just so distraught by her best friend Russ almost dying that she couldn't concentrate.
9. It's not 3. It's 3
It's
times
not a
better than my
3.
last roll.
It's much better than a 3.
Yes.
You are looking at these flowers, and now that both Whisper and Delmay point them out, you can see them. It's almost like there's a path that kind of goes off, bordered by these blue flowers, small. They're not quite roses, but they look similar. They're familiar. You knew them once upon a time.
I'm gonna touch one.
They're there.
Sniff it. I'm gonna give it a...
Are we touching things?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a sniff, because scent is related very heavily to memory. So, she's gonna give it a good whiff.
You pick up one of these roses. Could you roll me?
Yep.
Ooh, I believe it's hold on, I have to check a thing.
Okay.
I have to make sure
was
I
gonna
have
say.
to make sure I ask the right. Could you roll me either willpower self-discipline or willpower faith?
Self-discipline is what I will roll you.
+1.
9!
You
Wow.
You pick this small blue, not quite rose. For those playing at home, it looks almost like a Cherokee rose, if you've ever seen one of those. It's not like a mini rosebud. It's I'll put a picture in chat for you all in a moment.
It looks like the old school Victorian roses and not like our modern day
Yes.
bouquet roses.
But they're somehow even smaller, sort of, when they're on the bud.
bitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're nice and very pretty, but they also have really freaking huge thorns.
Oh, that's fine. I just get stabbed, I guess.
You do indeed get stabbed, which is why you have a roll that you had to make.
Yep.
That kind of cuts across. It doesn't injure you. It's you just feel it, and you smell, and you whiffed in its
Fragrance.
it's that sweetness that you remember. You remember these, they were along the gazebo at home. And your father, Casimir, kept them alive as long as he could, but they just withered slowly over the years. And they died by the time you were about 7, 8. And he never planted anything there again.
I know these flowers.
You do?
Yes, these were my father tried to keep them alive. Maybe because my dad planted them?
Would he have planted them here, you think?
It is possible.
Would your father want to lay such a clear trail to himself?
I don't know. I don't know him terribly well.
Fair. Would DM, would nature reading tell me about how long these plants have been here?
Yeah, a whole
Things like
bunch of
that?
things it would tell you about it.
Okay. Let me roll that.
Remind me, Delme, what kind of arcana is that?
Animism.
Okay, just keeping track.
My wild magic is meditative.
I know, I'm just keeping track.
Okay. Yeah.
3, 5, 9, 9, 11,
15.
and 3, yeah, 15. You definitely you rolled the fatigue check, not the
Oh.
spell.
Okay.
Oh. Your fatigue check's 15.
My nature
and-
reading check is worse.
Your nature reading, but again, it's like what Vishard did. It's a spell that you can get information, but the information you get increases.
Yeah. Okay.
You know that these flowers are old and intentionally planted here, but they are not native. Well, they weren't native to the Pavenweald until after the period when the Kerns 200 years ago, the Vata Shah and a few Vata'an fled Kern over the mountains and moved into the Pavenweald. These weren't native then, but these were definitely planted intentionally
Okay.
as a path, as a guide.
Yeah. Well, Ritka, someone put these here on purpose, and whether it's your people or my people, it's one of our people.
And that actually elicits a small chuckle from her, which would be probably the first one since, in a while, maybe since the morning of Truth or Drink. No.
Wasn't that this morning?
Gosh, was it?
I
It
don't
feels
think
like
we've
it's been
slept
so much
since.
longer.
Yep.
Oh,
Truth or
okay.
Drink was last night.
That was
Since-
last night.
Since Truth or Drink, but it feels like it's been forever.
Multiple weeks, maybe?
It feels like it's been like so many weeks. And Shuyu, well, perhaps that is worth investigating. What direction does the path lead?
Northeast.
It is in the direction of the sanctuary the Shard spoke of. Perhaps we should take this trail there?
Yeah, maybe it's to mark the sanctuary.
Mm.
But before we go, I'm gonna ask Whisper if she smells the stuff that made her sneeze in that direction.
No.
Okay. All right. Should we? Well, I will look over our shoulder to make sure that Russ is in. Like, we'll see. I'm assuming we see Cecilia and Russ. Like, chatting.
And that's a brilliant transition. The camera kind of pulls away from this small path delineated by these little blue roses and comes upon Cecilia checking on Russ.
Yeah, what do I need to roll to do that?
I think it was natural. It was something arcane, I think. I can't. Oh, no.
You can roll any of your healing checks.
I do just have intelligence healing. That is a
I
good
mean,
one.
I think that would be the appropriate one here.
And it didn't add the focus
15.
again, so 15.
You don't see any remains of any arcana on him. But
Okay.
you see the lingering results of it. Mechanically speaking, you're pretty sure that the vertigo will last about another half hour. Mechanically speaking, you are suffering from disorientation for another hour. Well, half hour by this point.
I think I'll just relay that to Russ and just be like, I think one of us might need to carry you or keep you close until it passes, unfortunately.
Something. What did it? There might be danger here. I can't.
I don't
see.
know what did it. I can only tell you what I see. And unless there's a way for me to look around.
Would you like to roll that perception psychic?
I can roll just perception because I forgot to take perception psychic last time. I don't see much.
You see the fog creeping. You see the trees. You see Delme and Ritka on this path in front of you. You see Vishard. What is Vishard doing?
After Russ was saved, Vishard went back to, if the group allows them, would take point and would try to steer the group towards the northeast, regardless of how the paths are shifting.
And Russ just says to Cecilia, tell them to look. Tell them to look. Tell them to see. I can't. I need to look. There might be something. I can't.
It took Russ. If you don't relax, this is not going to be an easy recovery. We will look. I will try to shout over to Bashard to keep an eye out for something.
There might be something here now. Something here.
I'll ask my eyes and ears. Jason, brother. Do you see anything? Do you smell anything?
Roll for him.
Is something wrong, boy?
Well, there's...
I'm gonna do hearing first, and then smelling 2nd, and then sight 3rd.
He
So
will tell you
hearing-
that he sees the path that Whisper saw because Whisper pointed it out.
Mhm.
So he knows that it's there.
So with a 12 in hearing, 13 in smelling, and 14 in sight.
Actually, 2 on each of those because it didn't roll the... So 14, 15, and 16. It didn't roll any of the focuses.
Oh yeah, no, the last one he doesn't have a.
Okay, so 14,
so it would
15,
be
14.
14, 15, and 14.
Okay. So he sees, like, Whisper has pointed out this trail. He knows this trail. He can see it. It's moving in the northeast direction. He would tell you that he hears the sounds of the forest, but it's quiet anticipation, like before a storm or a fire. You know how all of the animals are on edge until they know.
Yeah. when he mentions that, I'm gonna take like a moment to listen, because before a storm, normally like the birds quiet down. Do I hear birds?
You hear a few, but not many.
Okay.
It's quiet and growing. Are you proceeding? Which way are you going? You're moving northeast. Are you tending to this trail that was pointed out to you, or are you just moving northeast?
I would be, unless the group tells me to, stop. I ignore the trail. I'm going northeast, and I don't like that there's, trails that pop up. So, I would rather we make our own way.
Does Cecilia lift Russ onto her shoulder? Because Russ can hop right now.
I would, because I would prefer that he takes it easy. So if he's okay with it, I'm going to put him on my shoulder.
And I imagine it's a little bit difficult to stay. You need balance to perch.
Just leave like a hand to like steady him.
It's old. Pavenwild, it's old. It looks older, denser.
Like this is the future?
Past, I think. Or I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't think it's the. It looks different. It looks different.
I mean, Vishard seems to be onto something, and I'm just sort of. Frankly, I don't think I've ever been to the Pavenwild for very long.
Have you? Tell Delme and Revka, Ritka. Tell them to look into the arcane, see if they can see something, because there's something there. There's something.
And I'll relay that to them to be like, keep Ritka and Delme, can you keep an eye for something arcane? There's something has disoriented Russ, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm keeping an eye on him for now.
I'll use second sight.
Is that what I need to do to second sight? Or okay.
And Russ has got that agitated bird sort of situation going on.
Either second sight or
Perception psychic.
Perception psychic.
Oh, I had second sight this whole time. Why did I just use second sight the first time?
I don't have perception psychic, so.
I don't have perception psychic.
I only have communication psychic.
I might try second sight while we're walking.
I don't have anything. Psychic.
I rolled pretty good on my second sight. 15.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
17. Hey Russ, I need you to roll me a fatigue check, please, and it's higher than normal.
Okay. Based on what?
The number of spells you've been doing in short range and the disorientation you're actually acting on right now.
What do I need to roll?
Just a general fatigue check.
Okay. Is that on the main page?
You could just roll any of your spell fatigues. But fatigue can also occur not just from spells, but from general actions.
Okay.
Travel over long distances, heavy lifting.
So, all right. So, like, if I can just hit just any of the spells, then that'll do it?
Yeah, that'll just give me the spell. That'll just give, so it's, I just had to double check. It's willpower that I was trying to remember as the ability, and I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
Thank you.
I couldn't find it quickly. But you are not fatigued at the moment. Don't worry.
But I'm not feeling great. I'm not happy.
You're not happy, but it's okay.
Also, I have hollow bones. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell you. I have hollow bones.
Yeah, it's fine. It's cool.
Bird life.
You are moving through, and as you do, it's all of you who have second sight or psychic perception up. You see this illusory path in and out. The hidden flowers emerge in and out of your vision. You see this mist is avoiding them, almost. Moves around them, moves away from them, almost like it's blocking it. Vishard, as you're proceeding down this path, you would hear water. And you know that there's a lake or a large body of water out here in this, from the when you lived in this village. You would know that it's nearby. That seems to be the direction that you're moving in.
Have I ever seen, like, we'll say regular mist because we don't know if this one's magical or not, but have I ever seen, like, regular mist part in front of, like, flower bushes before?
No.
I can't track because I'm too. I just put my shield back up, and I'm like, Cecilia, the mist is avoiding the flowers. Maybe it's a trail. I can't see it. I'm not. It's hard for me. It's not. I'm not in the air. So,
No.
maybe
It's okay. We'll keep it. Vishard has a trail. He's following something.
stay inside the flowers.
Stay
Vishard
inside
would
the
like
flowers.
to nature read the flowers to immediately identify the plant.
See if either the flowers or the mist is magical, perhaps both.
It could be both.
Yeah, the mist, I can't do anything with it, but I can cast Identify on the plant.
Mm-hmm.
May I, GM?
Always. You can always try.
That's an 8, 9, 11, minus 1, 10. I don't know why my total is 0, but sure. Knock yourself out.
Because it's doing that thing again.
It's because the fatigue is messing up its calculations. It's fine.
Yeah. But it's a TN9, so I successfully do it.
You recognize these flowers. They are blue. They're from Kern. They're not native, but you know that a number of the Kernish emigres who came to the Pavenweald with the fleeing religious persecution 200 years ago brought them with them. You know that they aren't inherently magical, but they do seem to be a natural repellent to certain types of magic.
Okay. And would I know, with this arcana, if the magic in the plant functions if the plant is picked?
You would know that it has some ability, but it doesn't last as long.
Okay.
And
then...
you know it's not that the plant is magical. It's almost like the allegory for it's like planting citronella or lemongrass, right?
Mm-hmm.
It naturally discourages
Evil.
Mosquitoes.
Well, in this case, mosquitoes, but yes, the
Same thing.
same thing.
But
or
in this
be like
instance-
peppermint to cockroaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not magic itself, but there's something about the plant that naturally causes certain types of magic, so you're not 100% sure what kind, to not work. And you know
Then-
it will last if the flower is picked. It's the scent coming off of a flower. You would know, but it doesn't last as long.
Then Vashard will.
And the mist is
take-
magical.
Vashard will take 4 flowers. Like we'll pick 4 flowers. And he'll go to Delme first. And offer her one of the roses.
Delme will take it.
Can you roll me a willpower self-discipline test, please?
God fucking
Plus 1.
Both of us?
No, for him, because he picked the
He
roses.
picked the roses. Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped to
And-
smell the roses.
16.
Did you get the +1 for me? Because I'm
Yeah,
very
with
inspiring.
the +1.
With the +1, it is a 16, and you are fine. You feel something as you pick the rose.
Yeah, what do I feel?
Memory, longing, desire for home.
Do I feel like this comes from the flower, or it's something that tries to affect me?
A little of column A, a little of column B.
Okay.
Just, there's this overwhelming sense when you pick
Mhm.
them of home and safety and wanting to be there and wanting to be...
Well, that also ties into the fact why he goes to Delme first. And he'll hand the flower to her and whisper, to keep you safe.
Delme will tuck it into her braid.
And then he'll go to Cecilia.
I'll take the rose.
And also hand one to Russ in his beak, I guess. This should ward off the mist for a time.
I'm gonna just carry this flower in my beak awkwardly.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think I can put it in your feathers. I don't think it's gonna.
You can tuck it under a wing.
Oh yeah, I can tuck it under your wings if you're not flying. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then he'll walk to Rika and hand her the last flower and whisper to her, I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want anything bad to happen to you either. She'll take the flower.
He just remains silent and turns around. And I'm gonna send Deirdre a message.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Sweet.
Oh no.
oh dear.
I love a little good sort of like a...
I love a
Dramatic.
good GM whisper.
Yeah. And you're like, hey, GM.
Secret, secret. I got a secret.
We'll say I tend to feel better when it's the players whispering to GM versus the other way
Yes.
around.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I've been the GM who's been a recipient of some whispers, and I've been like, I'm sorry, you want to do what now?
How much poison do you want to use? Like, what now?
Did you... You want to jump off of what? And do... excuse me?
Look, early today, yes, I did push one of the fellow PCs into a lake with an
I
evil
did
spirit.
make that note. I did indeed make that note. You're moving forward then, along this path?
Yes.
If I'm taking point, could I do a sneaky sneak?
Yep, you can indeed.
I'll just stay about
By the way,
15 paces in
Asen
front of them.
and Whisper are still carrying Kazmati and Manfree.
Yeah, I know.
So they will have a severer penalty for their sneaky.
Well, Asen is not going to... Like, I'll sneak by myself. Like, I'm just... You know,
Cool.
Asen will stay
Taking
with the rest
point.
of the pack. And I'm taking point, yeah. Maybe, like, I'll say, like, 20 paces in front.
That's not that far.
Um,
That's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, if anything, they can rush up to me. Otherwise... So... Is 20 paces still close enough to want to impress Russ?
Does he get
Like
your
your
bonus?
plus one thing? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, as long as you can see me.
Okay, I can see him.
If you look, turn back, yes.
Yeah. That'll be a 9 with 2 stun points, but I don't think I can use these stun points.
I mean, you still have 2 points of conviction from your friends in chat
You
if you
do.
wanted to re-roll that.
We have 30 minutes. Yeah.
Let's do a reroll.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
How about
Hey.
13?
13 is much better.
Alyssa, would you football carry Russ?
Do you want him to be football carried?
Perching on his shoulders hard if you have disorder. If you have vertigo, that's
I-
you're moving.
Yes. I think I'll accept Russ's thing. And
Just
just
hold
sort
him
of-
like a chicken.
No, I'm gonna carry him like a little football under my arm, so you can have his little head.
That's
forward.
not as. That's not as. You hold a chicken with their head forward. You don't, like. You hold a
It's
bird
just
like a
because,
football when
like,
you want to
don't
clip their
you have, like, a
wings.
Tote
Like,
that
that's
your books
not-
are in, just like
You want me to? I'm
Make him a
sorry. You want
purse
me to
dog.
move my books and turn my book tote into a baby Bjorn for this hawk?
no. Make
I take that
Russ
back.
hawk.
I would like to set Russ up in the tote so that it forms almost like a baby Bjorn.
a purse tote.
Couldn't you just turn your cloak around and like use the hood?
The
as,
hood
as
is
the
like a-
carrier?
Nope. We're baby Bjorning it. This is.
Okay.
Several
So
of those tomes are older than either of us combined.
Well, if you can trust anyone not to mess up your tomes, it's Russ.
Yes.
you proceed down along this path, heading northeast. Vishard, you're moving quietly as you can. You are in front. I need you to roll me a willpower courage test, please, sir.
Oh yeah,
I
did we get the
closed roll
result for our
20 by
psychic?
mistake?
Yeah, I'll
Did we-
wait.
Do
50
seconds.
seconds.
Did we get the result of our psychic perceptions? It was just the mist sort of avoiding the roses. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't miss like an invisible psychic vampire that was like attached to Russ's brain.
Well, we might
You said
have.
willpower something something.
Willpower
Courage.
courage, please.
Why do I not have courage? What is wrong with me?
We don't have time to go into all that,
I
Vishard.
believe that as a professional, I cannot just offer up what is wrong with you. That would go against what I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah,
As my
no,
dad
I
would say
remember.
when I said, "Dad, I need help," he'd say, "Honey, we can't afford the kind of help you need."
Ah, yes, that loving parent line.
I remember is because during my level up, I decided to choose stamina over courage because I'm
Oh,
Simon.
I took stamina too, but I took specifically stamina with the winky face, so it's stamina.
It's yeah.
I
yep.
assumed that was what both of you did.
I
we're
just took
preparing for
willpower
things, baby.
self-discipline like a normal person.
I understand
I already
that.
had
I
that.
don't remember what
I didn't
got a
have that.
12.
Don't make this about self-discipline.
I had that from the
Vishard,
start.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
I've already been downloaded once. Like, what else do you want?
No. You see lights winking in the distance, floating. Pretty blues and pinks. You are comforted by them, soothed. This is home. You know this place. You know what these are.
Yeah, they're will-o-wisps. I'm gonna die.
You're not going to die. And
Are these the lights that were maybe mentioned by Dalmay's mom to her?
well, right now you don't see them.
She doesn't see them, but yeah.
You see and you feel comfort and safety, and you proceed down this path. You've broken the path. Now you have two options here, sir. You've come to a body of water, a large one. You can attempt to pull yourself out, or you're about to be led into the lake. Off the path that's there, just randomly into the lake. By the shiny, pretty lights.
Well, those are definitely will-o-wisps trying to drown me. So yes, I'm going to try to... Like, he doesn't know they're will-o-wisps. Simon knows, but Vishard doesn't like the fact that something is once again trying to pull him into trouble.
Yes. So
If I see him, I cry out with my little hawk voice when I see him leave the path, because we had a whole conversation.
What do puppers see? Or
No
smell?
leaving path.
the puppers aren't with him.
Oh, Vashard, you left the puppers behind?
Yeah, because they're carrying people.
But we're
Oh,
within
right.
visual distance, and so I cry out with my
Yeah.
little bird self. Like a little alert, like alarm, crying out with alarm. Not happy. But, not in words, because
Upon
Revka will
hearing
move off
that
the
alarm,
path.
can we
Yeah.
look for Vashard and see where he's going
Yeah. Can I see him with my eyeballs?
with my eyeballs?
Can you both roll me perception? Seeing.
Except
And Vashard, I need a willpower self-discipline.
I-
Actually, no, it's not
Eyeballs.
that. It's a different one because you're trying to pull yourself away. Hold on. You're trying to pull yourself out of it.
Wait,
now.
you actually called it perception eyeballs?
I changed it. Yes.
It is that. Haha. Hey, Vashard, I need you to roll me a Constitution stamina.
Oh, it comes into play.
Does it have
Am
a
I about
winky
to be
face as
impressed
well?
by his show of stamina because I see him with my 16 eyeballs?
Do you want to spend those 3 points to make it look pretty? As you do so?
Oh, please do.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to use my stamina to... is it a role-playing stunt, or is it an exploration stunt? Like, what would you consider it?
I mean, what did you want to do with it?
I don't know. I want to know which...
I mean, it's more roleplay, because you're not really exploring, but if there's a particular exploration stunt that you wanted... by the way, with a...
7? I don't think I
7?
succeed.
Well, no, it's... You didn't get the stamina bonus. So it's a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
9.
9.
Your feet are wet when you pull yourself out.
I think Russ tried to fly towards Vashard when Russ saw Vashard leaving the path and could not. It was just like a rustle of things and just crying out and not being able to do anything.
Redka would have gone after concealed.
That's what Delmay would have too, but could I use some of my stunt points to do that makes me wonder, which is another perception test?
Oh,
With
hold
a
on.
different focus.
I have 6 stunt points.
Oh,
I'm just
Yes.
gonna check what I can do with those real
Yeah.
quick.
With if
Yeah.
you can roll another perception with a different focus.
Oh, I was gonna look at I don't have any focuses anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's-
going to
it's-
use any stunts anyway. I have
I was
nothing.
looking to see if I could see the because I was focused on Vashard and I was gonna focus on like
Yeah, we
what
can make it.
Vashard
We'll
stepped
play
into.
with that. You see.
I'm gonna use my stunts. I'm gonna spend 4 of them to do a concerned flirt.
Oh, buddy.
So I believe the response to that is you then get to roll communications romance versus...
which I don't have. I never said she was good at flirting, let alone concerned flirting.
Yeah, but I have
Also,
to
Delmay's
be
just gonna
self-disciplined.
stand here and watch this.
Yes.
I feel like I want popcorn, and all I have are those pumpkin seeds, and I can't share them with Russ.
Oh,
I will just say
true.
that Russ is clearly agitated. Just as like, because like it looks like people are leaving the path. There's just like a
I
lot
feel
of
like Delmay's
agitation.
just gonna be this.
because he
Like-
stopped. So he seems to be like maybe okay. So I'm gonna do a concerned flirt.
Okay, so Vashard needs to roll willpower self-discipline. Ritka needs to roll communication. Very nice.
I dropped my
And
rose.
Delmay needs to roll against trauma. Or
Okay,
awkward.
so your
Delmay
rose
rolls
is now
awkward.
in the bag with you. You are mildly impressed at her flirting. However, you choose to, you notice her flirting. It is successful flirting.
It's a concerned flirt. It's like I was very concerned about you, kind of like. Oh,
Are you all right?
yeah. Like, are you okay? I'm worried. Yeah, like that. It's a concerned flirt. That's all. I saw an opportunity.
Russ, you dropped the flower, but you're inside the baby born, so you drop the flower in the bag. It's with you.
Because I was flapping my wings trying to fly, and if it was under my wing, I would,
Yeah.
Being that I utterly failed my willpower check, because
Yeah,
this
you
is
were
like
real
the
bad.
lowest I could ever roll.
Yeah, actually.
Yes, it is.
Um,
I'm very concerned about you.
yeah, no, Vash is just gonna look to Ritka and say,
Are you alright?
my feet are wet.
Delmay will snort out loud.
She looks like she could say several things, like several things cross her mind. She's like, no.
I think I'm getting wet feet.
Delmay's just gonna reach out a
Better than
hand
cold
to grab him
feet.
back
And-
onto the path
Yeah, like.
Yes.
while
Russ
laughing.
Russ would like to pull me, have you
Oh.
come back to the path.
Wait, if Delmay and Ritka both extend their hands to
Uh-huh.
like reach out to Vashard,
Yeah,
just to add to the confusion, he's going to take both of their hands.
that's fine.
I mean, yeah.
What confusion? I don't
know,
understand.
yeah, bro.
His.
Oh.
His confusion.
She's very confused why everyone is.
I like
flirting
how
with
he's
him.
confused, and then Delmay and Rick are like, get on the path, buddy.
Richard, are they signaling me? The rest, get on the fucking path.
But at the same time, Ritka is also signaling him, so...
She is.
I can
You know
understand.
that meme of the guy with the glasses and the butterfly?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Is this flirting?
Replace it with like anything Delmay or Ritka do. Vashard goes, "Is this flirting?"
It's so true, though.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Wait till Delmay and Ritka flirt with each other.
Oh.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
it's going to be at a moment when Vashard's passed out. Like, he's never going to see it.
Both managed to pull him back onto the...
Or we'll make a point to do it right in front of you. One of the two.
So, now that you are back on the path, you can see this large lake. The island in the middle.
There's lights on the water.
Yes, coming from the, as you see now, also from the island in the middle. You see a small footpath bridge to your just north of where you are.
I think we should stay on the path.
This
I agree.
does this now remind Delmay of what her mom said and everything?
Actually, Vashard and Delmay would recognize this place.
Oh, what is it?
You know it's the home of a spirit dancer who lived outside of the village.
Delmay will look at Vika and say, I think this is it. I didn't know at the time who he was, but
Oh.
based on what my mom said, she said he was a spirit dancer who lived right outside the village, and the place with the lights and the lake and the house in the middle, and it was always so beautiful. It still is.
It is quite scenic. I did not know he was a spirit dancer, but there is much I have yet to still learn.
Cecilia, ask how the psychic contact with her mother went. Ask Delme.
Delme, Russ wants to know how the psychic contact with your mother went.
Oh yes, we were all distracted by
Oh, yeah,
teleportation.
Do you
Talia
want to be
is...
let into the psychic party line to just tell it to Russ?
We should get into the psychic party line.
Psychic party line.
Alright, I'll try to set up the psychic party line this time.
That makes Russ feel better because he's feeling a little discombobulated.
Well, he shouldn't overexert himself. That is my professional opinion. I don't think I did good enough.
7, 8, 9, 10. It is. That's just what you needed.
Yeah, it's just what you needed because everyone's right there in line of sight.
Perfect. I can math. So, again.
Talia's dead.
What?
Yeah, Talia's dead.
The one who contacted you?
She knows. Yeah, she was. My mother knew her. She lived outside, like around, not in the village, but around it. She also knew.
Which village?
The one that Bashard and I grew up in.
You mean here?
Yes. Well, that way. We're outside the village, and my mom also, when I asked about whether she knew Yagami, she said yes, he was a spirit dancer who lived in a place that she described as this, right outside the village, and as far as she knew, he was still alive. And I asked a little bit about what she remembered about his daughters. What else? I don't know.
Wait. When that woman contacted you, she said that she was learning how to dance from Revka's father.
Yep.
But she's dead.
Spirit dancing.
That's disconcerting.
Is it?
Sounds like a threat.
Is spirit dancing sketch in this world? I guess I don't know what spirit.
No, but I think maybe some sketchy spirit being like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be hanging out with Revka's dad.
You should ask Ritka what her father told her about Talia.
What?
Yes, I was able to make contact. He said it was not unusual to contact spirits, and that I asked if there was anything I should be concerned about, and he said he did not know, probably because he does not really know me. He's looking forward to my visit.
When did he say that? He said that before we were transported.
He did.
Talia said the same thing.
I said we were most likely going to head that way, though.
I don't like it. Sounds like an ambush. And like Russ ruffles his feathers, but of course cannot go anywhere because he's too disoriented. I don't like it. It seems like a trap. It's a trap.
It could be. Could not be Admiral Akbar.
I'm gonna be Admiral Akbar.
Vitka, are you... This is your father's house. It's your call.
I think we should...
Are you ready to go in? Are you willing, or are you willing to walk away and you're this close?
I would like to know. Could provide some insight. If he's a very accomplished spirit dancer, we have an unconscious spirit dancer. It might be helpful.
Who was attacked by something that we don't know what it was.
And they have not been awake enough for us to ask them anything.
What do we know about spirits hanging out? You know,
Chillin'.
You can roll me intelligence cultural lore.
Is it an arcane lore, perhaps?
No.
Damn it, I tried.
I have cultural lore.
Or historical. Cultural or historical.
Oh, I have historical.
I have historical lore.
I'm a bird. I don't.
I rolled
all the lores.
19 for historical
Terrible.
lore.
I love it.
So
Or
Vashard
cultural.
has a 10. Ritka has a 14. Delme an 11. Cecilia a 19. With historical, if you rolled historical lore and you rolled higher than a 10, you know that spirit dancing is both religious and martial. It's a form of meditative martial arts, kind of like Shaolin, Kung Fu,
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism, and various other forms. There are different ways to do it, but it's considered a means to communicate with the eternal dance and connect. There are different types of spirit dancers. Some who can actually communicate psychically with those who have passed or are unrestless dead. There are those who are more physical, who it's a very it's like Tang sleeve dancing, it looks like, almost. Very large, open circles that, act... Okay, for the other comparison is for those of you who've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, picture waterbenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of waterbenders.
Yeah.
You know that it is the major academic form in... there's an academy in the city of Aldis, near the Temple of the Eternal Dance. A number of these traditions changed during the attacks of the Sorcerer Kings and the dark period of sorcery in Alden history. But with the expulsion of the Sorcerer Kings and the return of the Sovereigns, and the reign of the Sovereigns, you know that that these different traditions come out, and they're very public, they're all protected. There are some that can act as low-level shamans or protectors for an area. There are different types of not quite arcana that they practice, it's more religious than that. But it's not like they're not like they're priests, but they can like kind of sometimes double as shamans or wise folk of a village for various areas. With a cultural lore of 10 or better, you know that spirit dancers are usually seen as really almost sacrosanct. They are both a means of cultural sharing of cultural history and music and dance. They're seen as better connected to the eternal dance. Frequently, a number of people see them as, if they can, they attempt to the people themselves see them as sort of more holy. Whether that's true or not is separate. There are a number who dedicate themselves to, it's almost like a combination of Native American spirit circles and Shaolin monk meditative practices. There are some who truly are monastic in a sense. There are some who just kind of live alone out in the woods and can act as means against shadow. And you would know that spirit dancers is also a form of meditation, basically. But you have in front of you this lake, this wooden bridge, the path up onto this island.
But spirits are things that we all deal with in the regular time period, right? Like spirits are things that are like known in the world. They're out in this, and there's like dark fiends and whatnot, right?
Yeah, there are dark spirits. There are those who are just, those who pass on and continue into the eternal dance and are therefore possibly respun into the circle of reincarnation. Yes, there is a reincarnation path in this universe. Don't, but people who have unleft, there are spirits that exist. Both good and for ill.
Delme will, I guess, is probably still looking at Ritka to make the call.
It could be a trap, but I do not get the feeling that it is. The path seemed safe. Why would the path be safe if it was not? I mean, the mist was strange. There was many strange things happening lately.
And if your father is a spirit dancer, like we believe he is, I think he will be a good person to maybe ask for help, even.
But that voice who was probing,
He might be able to contact her,
or he's being controlled by her.
which we can discern.
Well, if he's being controlled by something, I assume, Ritka, you want to break that.
Would be preferable.
Yeah, you don't want to just leave him here. I think we go in prepared for anything, and expecting the worst.
I would say keep their guards up. A sharp eye.
Psychic shields are up outside this call, of course.
Of course.
And I think we leave the group line open.
Oh, let me do it. Cecilia, you might need to be able to concentrate on other things. I'll do it.
Are you well enough for it, though?
I'll do it.
This will not you will have no penalty to mechanically to this. It's physical actions that you have penalty to.
Very
But
well.
it's a minor action to keep concentration, and so just wanted to keep people like
Free
Cecilia
to
might.
cast spells.
Yes.
Yeah. Very well. I will pass the party line. I'll adjust the Zoom host so that it's
Thanks. Thanks.
You can now share audio.
2, 4.
And I can spend the stunt points to bring it up to 10, because that's 2. Give myself to 11. But it's difficult. It's clearly difficult for us to get it to do it. It's like it takes a lot of effort to get the connection happening.
Cecilia.
Shields.
What? Yes.
Can you roll me a perception seeing, please?
I can roll you straight perception because I did not take eyeballs. 12.
As you notice that it's difficult for us to do this, you notice something else in the area.
What else do I see?
A figure in the mists. Not on the same side of this bridge as you all. He's younger, taller, looks healthy. But he glares at you and you know that look. It's that look he would give you when you tried to point out that perhaps his actions were not the best in this moment. Perhaps he would not wish to proceed down this path?
Does anybody else notice that there's somebody across the bridge?
I look with my eyeballs.
Eyeballs?
Mm-hmm. You can all... No, he's on this side of the bridge with you. You haven't crossed the bridge yet. He's on this
yes.
side with you, but like in the mist, a little ways down.
Lots of eyeballs.
I'm gonna go with psychic eyeballs.
Okay, so Ritka... So, let's start. Let's start at the top.
Psychic
yeah.
eyeballs.
We're gonna start with Ritka. Ritka,
Alright.
you look off in the direction Cecilia points, and you see a figure. Tall, commanding, dashing almost. But you also see that hunger for conquest. The passion to destroy. The smirk he would give when you and your partner would bring back word of success in his name. You see that slight smile, that just kind of uptick in his jaw, that expressed both pleasure at your success and an anticipation of destruction in front of him.
Hashtag evil dad?
No, somebody
Okay.
worse.
Oh no!
Hashtag Lich King!
Oh. I was hoping it
If
wasn't
it's-
that one.
If it's who I think it is, it's not
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Who does Delme see?
Is it Lich King? Mr.
Yeah,
Lich King?
yeah, it looks like Jarek is standing
Jarek.
there smiling at you. Please.
White as a sheet. Just instant, like, heart attack.
He's like, what's up?
Do we see the same person, or is it just...
Nope.
Nope.
Good.
You don't see the Lich King.
You
I'm sorry.
see somebody very different, Cecilia.
Which is probably... I don't know if that's worse or better.
You
Because
see
if it's who I
somebody-
think it is,
It
it's
is
bad.
Cecilia. It is Cecilia. It is that person that you know very well and had seen.
And you're not
before.
sure if they're worse or better than the Lich King?
No, for Cecilia, because I
Oh,
have two options of who this
personally.
could be, and if it's who I think it is,
Because if that's the case,
gonna cry.
No.
Delme, looking up, you see a figure, tall, night person, not human. Angry. You don't quite recognize them, but you recognize the uniform. The warrior shock troops of the Crimson Guard, the leaders of the Kurnish army. They are standing right at you, staring at you, looking at you. You see a trail of blood kind of falling from their chest. The armor kind of hides if they had any gender presentation, if they chose one, but you can't quite tell. But you see them bleeding from the chest and staring angrily at you.
Just as a reaction, I think she would, because she's unsure of what's happening, I'd use 4 of my stunt points for the upper hand, just in case this were to lead into combat.
Cool. We'll make a note of that. Vishard. You look up You see a figure in the mist, but you can't make out who's there. Yet, you hear or feel this connection, this moment. It's almost like feeling what it would be when Bran and Hazel would talk amongst themselves. That superior bond between two that just kind of overwhelmed. But it's different. It's angry. It's aggressive. It wants to consume what's in front of it. You see the figure move, tilt their head, lean forward, almost as if they want you to see them. They want you to see their face in this mask. You are looking at Ritka, but she doesn't look the same. Her eyes are sunken. Her skin is ashen instead of that dark charcoal that you see before. You see her in armor, heavy, full armor, a large medallion of a skull around her neck, and hunger in her eyes. Russ, you're looking psychically. I need you to roll me a willpower self-discipline, please.
Of course. It's my favorite. So, you know, I have willpower self-discipline.
Oh, excuse me. You can also roll willpower faith if you have it.
I don't. I'm just gonna go with some self-discipline. I appreciate self-discipline. That's an 18. You know, I'm Russ. I have a lot of self-discipline.
You hear a voice in your mind, Russ. It's chilling, almost. It's old. You've grating. You feel it under your skin. You know that this is true. Russ. Sarthan's been waiting for you, Russ. Why don't you join us?
Who are you? Who are you?
You know who we are. Aren't you ready to join Sarthan? I think you should, Russ.
I don't know you. I know him. I don't know you.
You should join us.
Flap my wings.
And that's where we're gonna end it for tonight. We okay?
I don't think good dad is good dad.
I think it's fine, right?
Are there any good dads in this world? I'm learning.
I think Good Dad just has a boggart outside. Come on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's what it is.
Anyway.
Was that voice the same that the shard heard? I have questions.
I want to know more about Sarthan because it matches a rumor I've heard before.
You've not heard any rumors at all. There are
Also,
no rumors.
I think I have heard a rumor.
I'm sure you haven't. There are no rumors. Nothing is relevant.
It seems Russ has left as part of his story that he didn't. Why wouldn't he tell his
No.
best friend
Oh,
Cecilia?
hello.
don't.
How we doing,
What?
everybody?
I have like a
Tell us.
paragraph on Russ.
Me
Yes,
too.
yes, you do.
Yep.
Who knows what it is? I'm private. I'm a bird. Birds are private.
So, how we doing? We
Yeah.
feeling okay? We all right? We ready for everything?
Ready?
That's a different.
Different question. Feeling good though.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
I feel like every week goes by, they're just like, oh, we just got like fucking teleported across the country. That's fun.
It's, crazy stuff's happening.
There's a reason that Delmay's like, so you sent me out here to get experience, and apparently that means like dealing with zombies and like vampires, but okay. I don't know what the big rush was.
I feel like I
Get
could have
me
waited a
out
bit
here.
longer.
You did this.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I know, right?
So, we doing okay? You're confused, Crit? Eventually everything will become clear. Probably. Maybe. We'll figure it out. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us. We'll go around, let my fine, wonderful cast tell you where you can find them. I will do the full spiel at the end. Hey, cast, crew, wonderful people in chat, go ahead and drop me a line about what you think tonight's episode title should be. Remembering we're kind of walking that line of like 80s, early 90s rock power ballad song titles. Is our aesthetic for our titles. But so why don't we go in the opposite order that we started with? Hey, Simon, how you doing? Feeling okay?
Hi. Yes, I am. Vashard is
Ooh.
tiny better. But I am, Simon at Wandering DM. If you're looking for me outside of the stream, you can find me over on my channel, twitch.tv/WanderingDM, on Mondays, on Saturdays, and on Fridays. So weekdays, it's at 8:30 p.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m., all times Eastern. We play D&D, Cyberpunk Red, and Scion. And then you can also find me GMing some more Cyberpunk over on Unmade Gaming on Wednesdays at 8, and producing the show that happens on Sirenscape on Thursdays at 8. And that is it for now.
Oh, and
But-
share some love with the cast. Just share
yes.
love.
I'm trying to think of like my favorite moment tonight. But I'd have to say it's pretty much the whole episode. Like that there wasn't any moment that I would go like, nah, this less than another. Like all for different reasons. We had our psychic calls, which I thought were pretty fun, pretty hilarious in some circumstances. Ritka.
I dialed the wrong dad. It's fine. It's just,
Yeah.
Oops.
But no, I enjoyed everything, even the sort of weird teleportation thing that keeps happening and that we don't know what's going on. I've been, to be fair, a little lightheaded the whole show, and I still am at the moment. So it's kind of weird because I'm spacing in and out. But otherwise, I love all of you very much. And that is it.
Well, we appreciate you being here, even if you weren't feeling 100%. We all appreciate your fine love and dedication. And then next up, underneath the wonderful Simon, we have Lindy. How you doing, Lindy?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Ritka's having a time. She was not, in any sense of the word, expecting to ever see the Lich King again. So that's a thing. Even though I think it's one of those things where we all just see a different person than that's actually there. But we'll see, cause whoo boy, that's a thing. Poor Ritka. But she did contact her dad's, and that was
Aw.
really hard for her to do. So she feels a little better in a weird way. But yeah, some love to share. I love just how chill Delmay is being about everything. It helps Ritka feel a lot better. She's like, I'm glad you're still treating me the same. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, is how Ritka's feeling towards Delmay and Cecilia. But she and Delmay have had more time the past episode or two, so poor Russ. Little love for Russ. I just felt for him. Little flightless birdie. And then Vashard's, when he was passing out the roses to everyone, I liked that moment as well. That was a good moment. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play a lot of tabletop RPGs because I'm an addict and I love it. You can find me tomorrow on my birthday, which is also someone else's here's birthday, but I'll let them decide if they want to tell or not. But on my birthday, playing some Wanderlust in Wildmount. We are still very early in the campaign. The whole group's about to get together for the first time, so we had a bit of airship travel and time travel. It's crazy. It's awesome, and I think there's going to be a masquerade ball. So definitely come check that out because it should be a hoot and a half. Tuesdays is Mist of Ravenloft, and this Saturday we premiere with our season 2 of Aliens, and we have some very exciting new art and other things that you should check out because it's gonna be awesome. And then of course on Wednesday, catch me here with Trooper for Witcher because it's fun.
Yep. Yes, it is. I have a lot of fun with it. I have so much fun with that. Speaking of Witcher, hey Trooper, how you doing? Looking forward to next week in Witcher where, you're totally not gonna die?
Wait. Why would we die? Isn't everything fine in The Witcher right now? Like, isn't everything great? Well, no, wait, sorry. Being chased by werewolves? Yes, that's right. I remember being chased by werewolves as a non-combatant. Also more werewolves, probably also hiding werewolves, like crouching werewolves, hidden werewolves. Murder werewolves? I think it'll be fine. I feel like...
I think it's crouching werewolves, hidden Witcher, because I don't think they're expecting me to be there.
Yeah. Crouching werewolf. Yeah. I'm Trooper SJP. Oh wait. Ooh. I'm Trooper SJP. How are y'all doing? You can find me. Where can you find me? Today's Sunday. On Tuesday at noon, you can find me over at Praxagora, the Smorforius channel, which is this one, where we are going to chat for like 15 minutes probably, or longer, or much longer. We're gonna have a colloquium, and we're gonna go and just chat about all the nerdy things, and we will start at a place and end somewhere else, and you should join us and then just take part of the conversation because it's the best. And then on Wednesday, The Witcher, werewolves, and then Thursday will be Divinity Original Sin on my channel. Friday is Aether's Walkway, which is also, everything is super fine there. We did not crash land on a planet and have bad things coming to murder us there either. And then Friday evening, we did at 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is on my channel, City of Light and Shadow. By the way, Aether's Walkway is over at Lindy's channel.
It is.
And in that one, I think it's French Resistance. Pearl Harbor just happened, and everything will be fine. But my love, because it's not going to be fine, but my love is going to go to a couple. First, I want to sort of give the Heisman Trophy to Vashard for quick thinking, using plant shaping in a non-conventional way to save Russ from dying. I appreciate that. That was like some great thinking. And then I was thinking about everybody's done their little cool thing. Like I really appreciated Cecilia's baby Bjorn. That was lovely. I Delmy is so chill, Delmy is so chill. I love it. That whole conversation with her mom was super interesting. I love that Delmy's like, wait a minute, twice now with the Russ, the babysitting thing. And of course, Russ was a psychic call, did not hear it. So there are these kind of interesting conversations that are happening, but not everyone's hearing them because sometimes they're in psychic calls, which is great. And Ritka's little like concern flirt. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it right over there. I saw it. And Praxter being super creepy and creeping us all out in the best possible way ever.
Thank you. Love you. Looking forward to it. Hey, Lissa, how you doing? Feeling all right? Doing so good?
Oh yeah. There's nothing like ending on a cliffhanger of all the creepy feelings. It's great. We're gonna be fine. Everything's great. We're not seeing weird people coming out of the shadows that definitely haunt us from our past or anything. Nope. It's all good. So for the boring stuff, hello, I'm Xander Slambleton. Other than being here on Sunday, I am on Tuesday at the other doc channel for Urban Shadows, in which we have just spent some time in the fairy court, and it was sufficiently upsetting. Which is what you can expect from fairies that don't understand why you don't want to necessarily hang out in their court. Also, we ended up in the underworld on accident because the gate got broken, and that was a whole thing. Anyway, we're back in Rome, so it's all fine. And yeah, I guess love-wise, I'm kind of in the same boat Simon was in, where it's like picking a specific moment is really, really, really hard. And I just kind of want to give it to the moment where Bashard thought ahead to give us all the roses, because it was very cute. It was a very sweet little thing. Also, yes, Lindy and I are birthday twins, so yes. Hey for us.
Birthday twins whose birthday will be in 43 minutes if you are counting people. Ooh. On the East Coast.
That's true.
Continuing on, we have the fun, fabulous, wonderful, last but certainly never least, hey Pooja, how you doing?
Hello! I'm doing great. Delme doesn't understand what people are freaking out. It's just like a weird Kurnish soldier. It'll be fine. Let's start with my loves for this episode. I think this episode was full of really great little moments that speak volumes. Like Vishard, as everyone's mentioned, taking the time to pick those flowers and give them to everybody. I thought that was a really lovely and unexpected move from the group emo boy. So that was, and Vishard talks all about like his whole like his bond with himself and everything. And so in that moment, we got to see these fledgling bonds with everybody else in the group, and that was just lovely to see.
Of course, he did have to murder the flowers for that to happen.
Yeah, but
we'll forgive him that.
I have a spell to heal plants. I can keep them alive for as long as I can cast.
Okay.
Then let's see, Ritka. She had a lot of great moments, like she always does. But I think calling the wrong father as somebody who has two brothers whose names start with the same first two letters, that was a very identifiable, relatable moment for me. Except like I've never gone without calling them for 5 years, so I just really loved that moment and the way
they weren't sure if you were dead or alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was just. I mean, you were saying that Delme takes stuff in stride. I think like Ritka did a pretty good job there, like just keeping it cool. Like high five for Ritka. Then for Russ, I think what I really enjoyed was the whole like scene of Russ falling and just his reaction to it, how the way he never stopped being Russ even in that moment. It was still a very like pragmatic, rational, like hello Cecilia, I am falling. Like, instead of being like, bitch, catch me, which is what I would have done. It was still very Russ, and I love that.
Well, I mean, he's native to the air. Like the air is his native space. He did not like falling. He does not like being able to not be able to fly. He does not like being able to not move. He doesn't like those things, but
it's fine. We have the hawk yarn. It's all good.
Yes. And then for Cecilia, I think my favorite moment with her was like moments after that when Russ is like, I'm falling out of the sky, and Cecilia starts chatting with him. She's like, what's happening?
He's just
How did it
falling.
happen? Yeah, I don't. She's like
He's gonna talk the whole time. You gotta work with the patient you have.
It was so good. Because all I know is that in that moment, like, my insides were like, come on, do something. And meanwhile, Cecilia is like, yes. What is happening? What has happened? Are you okay?
I'm about ready to die.
Yeah,
Probably,
it was-
if you don't catch me,
It was
I'm gonna
beautiful.
die.
And I really loved that. I loved the extreme, like a small glimpse into exactly who their characters are. So
In
that
case
was
you wanna-
really lovely.
That was Russ in a panic. Russ has been in a panic since the falling. He's still in a panic. He's in a panic. He's been in a panic. It's just that his panic is a Russ kind of a panic.
And his panic is, assuming, going to be intensified by what he just saw.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my favorite, Prax and her amazing ability to creep every single character out in just this so personal. Like, I don't know. It's just like I love watching a good DM pull the right strings, and that's exactly what that the last 10 minutes of that were, and it was so great. I loved it. So all in all, lots of love for everybody. And as for me, I'm for the month of March only doing this, which feels very strange, but I will be also focusing a little bit more on writing. I am one of the writers on a website called dscribe.com. That's spelled DSCRYB.com. And they produce box text descriptions for which can be used by DMs and players, whether it's like helping describe locations, places, NPCs, the way spells look, weapons look. So essentially it's a great tool for people who who have trouble being like very illustrative and evocative in their descriptions on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like a very small startup situation, but it's a lot of fun and definitely gets me out of my mindset of legal writing because I get to remember what adjectives are, and that's just a good time. But yeah, so you can find me here on Sundays and at Pooja on Twitter. And who knows what I'll be up to next? I don't. That's the fun of this.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for all the love. We love every bit of your wonderful expressiveness. All of what Delmay does. Every time Delmay's like, I'm going to touch it. It's like, I appreciate that. It's like, yes, please. It makes me happy. I enjoy it.
And this is the time she's like, I'm not going to touch the flowers. I'm going to have Ritka look at the flowers. And the Ritka was like, oh, Delmy pointed out these flowers. I'm going to touch them. So it was...
Oh, Delmy, if Ritka didn't touch him, Delmy would have.
She was going
Delmay's
to. Yeah, I love it.
They're rubbing off on each other. It's great.
They are. It's great.
Great. It's so great. But as for me, hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, Praxagorithesmia4. See me around on Twitch. Thank you for being here. Thank you all of you who watch on YouTube on the VOD. I see you. I see those comments. I see a lot of, if you haven't been, there are some great comments that have been popping up recently on a couple of the VODs that are very intriguing. Very intriguing. But you, again, we are also, the donation link for our fundraiser to support World Central Kitchen is live. It will be live through the end of the month. So I'm going to be doing this all month long. So every stream. We will also be doing I'm also going to be doing a 12-hour stream fundraiser on March 27th. 12 hours of TTRPGs with some different people, because I have a lot of friends that I don't get to play with a lot, so we're going to get some other people in to play some different games. It's going to be a wholesome day of wholesome games. So that will be a lot of day fun. But you can find me next here on Wednesday for some Witcher, where apparently there are whole-ass caltrops and werewolves.
Whole-ass caltrops.
As there was a search that went into that.
There is. There was a Google search, and now I know facts that I will never forget.
Neither will any of the rest of us. We appreciate you. Then on Friday, as Simon said, you can find me over on Wandering DM for some Cyberpunk Red, where Trins... I have no clue what's going on because I wasn't there last week, but apparently things happened. So we'll see what's going on. And then you can find me here again on Sunday for some more Romance of the Blue Rose. It is now officially 11:30. I feel that we cannot leave without a musical accompaniment, Trooper.
Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you and you. Both of you. Happy birthday, dear Lindy and Alyssa. Don't go changing. I mean that you're both beautiful. I swear you're beautiful people, and I'm here all week. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trooper.
We will see you all next week. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and till next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, actually, we're gonna go raid. We're gonna go raid off the table because they're doing some stuff tonight, and I think they deserve our
they're doing
love.
things.
They're doing
and
things
stuff.
and stuff.
Wow.
Are they on the table or off it, though? I need to know that.
They're always off the table. Oh my god, always off the table.
Good.
So we're
good.
gonna
The
go
only
raid
way
them.
it should be.
I'm under the table.
I like dancing
I
on the
operate.
table.
Sometimes
I'm
that
I'm
happens.
always dancing on the ceiling, if I'm honest.
I
that's
dance
fair.
on the table and I hide under the table.
We'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Cool.
Woo.